Welcome back. National Teen Driver Safety Week is October 16th through the 22nd. So now is a perfect time to talk about the conversations that parents should be having with their teens. If you've ever heard of the FCCLA, then you know it's a national student advocacy group in thousands of high schools nationally. Today, we are talking to Renee Cabrera, their student vice president of programming, to get more info. Hi, Renee.
Hello.
So thank you so much for being here. Can you tell us more about what the FCCLA is?
Yeah, FCCLA stands for the Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America. We are a career and technical student organization that has family as its central focus. And some of the big strategies and especially skills that our members gain has to be that college and career readiness. And thanks to some of the other initiatives that we do, teen driving safety is also on that list as well.
Yeah, and you guys are working with the National Road Safety Foundation to promote Teen Driver Safety Week, right? Tell me what you guys are kind of doing in collaboration with them.
Yeah, of course. One of the amazing opportunities that teen drivers have access to, at least our members, they basically, we as the organization partnered with the National Road Safety Organization to basically offer a PSA contest where members basically can submit a PSA about, driving safety and help promote, some of the skills or things necessary in order to make sure that, people are driving more safely. And that includes making sure that our own peers are doing what's best in order to make sure that we get to zero fatalities as much as possible.
Wow. And I know with this whole week in teen driver safety, we are pushing parents to have those really intense, they don't have to be intense, but really important conversations with their teens. What is your perspective of that? Like, what would you suggest to parents to even kick that conversation off?
Yeah, of course, when you first start out this conversation, you have to remind them of the world is vastly changing, especially, when it comes to driving. But there is a consistency, and that is that, the skills needed to drive are fairly the same. But there's also just a lot of issues that we need to start tackling more when it comes to safety and having those conversations. For example, one of them is, when people are driving impaired, that not only includes alcohol when we're talking about, drunk driving, we're also talking about, over-the-counter drugs like coughing medicine or, maybe for your allergies as well. Those types of things can affect the way that you drive. So it's really, really important to have those conversations to make sure when maybe your child is having or your teenagers having some sort of medicine, that they need to know, how can it affect their driving. And it's really important to look at what side effects in order to make them as safe as possible as well.
Yeah, and studies and just the statistics all around are showing, kind of more teen driver accidents and things like that. Do you feel like more teens are taking an interest in being safer and kind of incorporating their friends into being safer? When I was young, I was definitely doing that.
Yeah, of course, and it has to be sadly because when we see a fatality, especially someone that what we know or someone that we went to school with, we want to take action as much as possible. But what I really hope, especially more young people are doing, is they should go to the very beginning and make sure their school district has access to driver's education, or they're doing their own projects in order to advocate. So just in case, just for the future, in order to prevent those types of fatalities to happen. It's really important to start at the root cause in
I
order to
totally agree.
stop that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Renee, for being here. We really appreciate you. Everyone, stay safe out there. Parents, have those combos. Now it is time for a break.